chan bada bada, chan bada, chan bada bada, chan bada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. All start from katana, iron's hand harvested from the riverbed, melted into carbon infused tamahagane, burning in the furnace for 3 days straight, then folded and hammered, repeated. Leave no impurity, sharpen with impunity. Cause if it ever touches your flesh, it peels on both sides of the edge, so clean it might heal. Let's put back together right away, unless you wanna bleed to the angle right ahead. Your wife and kid will wake up to a wrong type of morning. This sword is known to make orphans. No rope, just cub left in the wilderness. It's awful, but I wait for his bitterness to come and avenge for his father's death. Keep an eye on my father's threat. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Yeah. The wave pattern along the blazes of clay, heated and cooled to a hard marten tight. Say, in a battle, if the sword would have snapped and twined. Bad news for your spine, that's why my builders fought superior. The heart soft and flexible, but the skin tough and durable. The combination is a genius behind the fiercest forged weapon never known to man. Damn, but the one with the thumb on the handle must learn to stay calm and stand like a candle in a storm. Looming that's guaranteed to take many forms and attack from all angles. The shadow men coming at the woodwork, so adamant I don't get it like clockwork. There's no good or evil, only strong or feeble. If it both live, see you in the sequel. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Yeah, come get it if you wanna.
In this ball pit, used to work out Harbor Freight, but now this my office. Can you believe they pay me all this money just to talk shit? Little bitch, I'm vibing, little bitch, we mobbing. All in got timing, well, goddamn, I'm shining. On these records, this ain't silver, hoe, it's white gold. Wait till I get them diamonds, it's gonna be a chokehold. K.O. I'm a hoochie, I'm a sellout. Smell like shit every time it's me they talk out. I'm a born sinner, better get that gone. 85 burning rubber till I get back home. And bitter is the food that fell early. Slither with these snakes, homie, Lord have mercy. Hands in his chicken, no churches. Throwing up to Persia, Lord forgive me for these urges. So who the fuck I look like if I slow up now? Talking out that neck, but my foot calm that down. Used to let that slide just to keep folks around. Now I keep the scissors in my bag in case they get loud. We pipe that smoke down, don't get me rowdy. These hoes can't rap with me, say that shit proudly. Bad Mike Lowry, surfing facing season, bitch, I even brought my Lowrys. They like my little voice, they think that shit sweet. They think they gon' beat this little caramel coochie. Well, bitch, I'm the new age E. Forbidden gems up my sleeve next to that 3AT. I'm a hoochie, I'm a sellout. Smell like shit every time it's me they talk out. I'm a born sinner, better get that gone. 85 burning rubber till I get back home. And bitter is the food that fell early. Slither with these snakes, homie, Lord have mercy. Hands in his chicken, no churches. Throwing up to Persia, Lord forgive me for these urges.
waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. Girl, you're so fine, it's a crime. Looking like you're in the prime. Surely top 10, you're a dime. I might put my heart on the line. Come close, we can slow wine. Body on me till we grind. Sensual as we climb. Just lay back while I dine. Never hold back, let yourself be free. Love how the sweat's dropping down on me. We can make waves like we down in the sea. Make you let go like a tsunami. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through.
Time is of the essence. Let your guard down, don't block your blessings. Baby, just focus on the present while I teach you these love lessons. If you want me, better show it. Dealing with a sign, boy, you know it. If you can match my energy and be devoted, I'll be any and everything that you ever wanted. You can break my heart, but somehow you stole it. Baddest in the room, but more than a trophy. Hold my hand while we grind slowly. Going round for rounds to the early morning.
I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. Never wanna let you go. Stay with me, don't say no. Staring at your skin while it flows. As I rub your body real slow. Never let the river get low. Let me come and roll on the boat. Make your body hydro. I can make your love overflow. All I wanna know if you stay here with me. If you got the lock and I got the key. Want to be a fan of you only. And never ever ever will I leave you lonely. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come straight through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come straight through.
My great-great-grandma was probably raped by the white man. And then the white man went and left his children fatherless. Get a stereotype to the black man just to escape his cowardice. Ain't middle school jokes about black kids being fatherless. It sensitizes to the fact they were taken by the government. A 414 where my summer spent. With my cousins in my grandma's basement, counting money, steady thumbing it. And I ain't know my cousin was a dealer till my mama said. All I know is big cuz held me down with the ice cream man. All I know is big cuz feed the hood when the mamas can't. Economics man invested in Ronald Reagan's contraband. Chasing that dirty money, got him that black discipline. Whoopings derived from whippings, learned from the white man. Great grandma went and got a switch up off the branch. And we just wait until it's finished, nigga, we don't never finish.
Going can be far when you know just who you are. Light the world up with your power. One day you'll be a star. Hold your head up and stand tall. This to all the boys and girls. Look inside imagination. One day you'll rule the world.
Ain't my Santa Claus was a black woman, my my father is God. And my Jesus something like Robin Hood, give back to the block. And my Mary just got an afro, she turned into a bob. With long nails, they called her Jezebel, but they missed the plot. And all these Jeopardy commercials telling me Africa Pope. Like human capital was removed and brought to another show. Like the Berlin Conference, they split us up and lead to the woke. Like y'all ain't cut the nose off, so we ain't know we could soar, my nigga. I am not Martin Luther King Jr. Bitch, I'm from New York, might have my order shoot you if you let your privilege fool you. And like a cooler on my way to Timbuktu to school you. Made me look like Mansa Musa, go what I told the jeweler. Cut from a different fabric, if fabric be fabricated. I'm realer than a Mamiris in every color to play with. Brands on my body reminiscent of the past. There's capitalism on my black ass. Oh man,
Going can't be far when you know just who you are. Like the world up with your power. One day you'll be a star. Hold your head up and stand tall. It's to all the boys and girls. Look inside imagination. One day you'll rule the world.
Grandma, you didn't play though.
No,
You gave serious spankings. You didn't care how old we were.
Yeah.
I told you what she spanked me with, right?
I sure did.
With switches. I had to go pull branches off the tree.
Actually enjoy treating your customers like a piece of shit, because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy ass theater. It was too fucking dark in that place for me to find my seat, alright? I was using my phone as a flashlight to get to my fucking seat. So excuse me for using my phone in USA, United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, all right? I've texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing with my fucking phone, all right? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys obviously were being assholes to me. And I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer. Thanks for taking my money.
It's chocolate. You should be very proud, Detective.
Shut up.
You've made a delicious life for yourself.
Said shut the fudge up.
Why? You don't come near here. You stay away from here.
Here he comes.
What?
Are you listening, David? I was saying how much I admire you and your ice creams. You have incredible taste in fine ice creams.
What the fudge did you just say?
6 delicious flavors. They're so lovely. And once they're gone, David, They're gone.
David, step away from the prisoner. Step away, David. Step away.
What's in the box?
I'm not gonna tell you until
What's in the box? What's in the box?
We each have our weaknesses. It appears that gluttony is my sin of choice. And you add the mystery. I couldn't resist.
What's in the malted fudging box?
It's empty, David. It's empty.
No! It was full. 6 delicious flavors. Only available this month.
I know. It was delivered to your home. It was delectable.
Do you think anybody's gonna get, like, offended by this?
Just tall white Karens.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel, a knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
The Greening the Gateway Cities program provides trees that are planted by DCR foresters and crews hired from local communities. When you sign up as a potential tree recipient, a forester will visit your home or business to determine the best location and species of tree for maximum energy efficiency. Easy care instructions are provided, and it's all free. Find out if you are in the zone and learn more at maurbancanopy.org.
If we're honest, who wants to roll less travel? It's harder to teach us. Who wants the difficult route?
If you support safety in our schools, you will support the National Guard to come in here and keep our students safe.
People say, these students have changed. These students are lazy.
Your children aren't learning disability, they lazy.
Get students engaged so they don't want to skip class, so they want to be in their classrooms.
There are teachers in this profession who should not be teachers. There are teachers in this profession who don't care about children.
These students don't want to learn. No, the adults have changed. See, the parents don't have the back of the teachers.
He ain't slow. He ain't got no learning problem. His parents didn't give him a foundation.
Young people, as a nation, we sorely need the depth and breadth of your intelligence, character, and also your clarity.
Think about, in particular, the history of people that look like me who are getting cheated.
So if you're asking me right now as an educator, what's wrong with these kids? There's nothing wrong with them.
Teachers are the most important people in the world.
They're whimpering in fear, and we're sitting here scared of them.
Because if they get it right, they'll change the world because they're in charge of the most important resource, and that's our children.
Shaolin shadow boxing, and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Set out to get you with a fine tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on.
Notorious, we notorious. Yeah, we notorious. Yeah, we some warriors. Out here feeling glorious. Yeah, we notorious.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of Reach Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, 2 Lives at Once. And with every wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. 2 Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, 2 lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Master Yoda I am. And listen you must to HulaZoo.com.
Home. Take me home.
Superman.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
Like some motherfucking action heroes in it. Yeah. This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is a proof.
Into the twisted mind of my literature, designed to get into the depths of your mind, administer sickness around to mimic the likes of snuff cinema. What you must get into, you're nothing but pups. Remember you Homer and Happy Simpson, son. Nothing Ithaca. Talkers like the northern half of Korea's peninsula. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister.
All right, it's your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. It is June 24th. We are 6 months into the year, almost over. June 24th. 6 months, almost halfway through the year. I already started seeing Christmas stuff being tickets on sale for Christmas events. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Man, and here in New England, we finally got some summer-like weather. But first of all, I got to say thanks to all the supporters from the show from last week. Last week, I came on this show, and I gave you guys a little insight to the analytics of where people are watching this show and things of that stuff. And, we're being watched all over the world, so I gave shout-outs to all those places that we're showing up at. I got my first guest on. Before I get my first guest on with me, let me get into my supporters and sponsors. Got a lot of people in the chat. I see Kevin Jeffries. What's going on, Kevin Jeffries? Leto in the chat. We got Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor coming up, the wrestling podcast show at 9:30. I see Felicia in the chat. And then all you strangers and people who don't log in, but you lurking, thank you for all your support. But MDB Electronics, if you got a controller, an Xbox controller, and it's got to be fixed, get it out to him. Back to you within 48 hours. You're back to gaming. Deanna Marie, it's personal. 494,000 streams. Let's push those stream numbers up. Get it over 5,000. I think we're over 500,000 now. So I think we want to set the next tier. And then her next project come out will be Blacklisted. Tactical target systems. When they go to the range, those are those targets, those zombie targets that you see me with. And then I Love Boston Sports, Marlon Williams, black-owned business. Make sure to check him out down in South Shore Plaza. Then Kimberly Ian, Empowerment Photography. Ladies, if you want to take some photos that you never thought you'd take for a special person in your life, reach out to Kimberly Ian, Empowerment Photography. And then I got to get this guy. I talked to him. He's going to be coming on the show. He's super busy, though. Daryl Smith is the CEO of Underwatch Protective Services. He's now doing stuff in North Carolina, out of state. Security services. So if you need mobile patrol, foot patrol, armed guards, unarmed guards, event security, or private security, reach out to Underwatch Protective Services. That's also a black-owned business. And then my buddy Larry, I grew up with Larry. Check out Larry. Call Larry Handyman Services, 774-826-6549. And we got to get into the news booth and mention this first topic first before I get into my guest who's in the waiting. Davinci Leonard. Still not caught, people. Still not caught. Shot 2 people outside of Chipotle. One of those people was his 18-year-old girlfriend. The other person was a 15-year-old employee for Urban Air. He is still not caught. But his buddy of his, who let him sleep at his house the night of the murders, he's doing time. He's being held without bail. So if you're out here hiding him, you could also share the same fate as his buddy. So you better turn him in. We're tired of coming on this show every week and asking to turn this guy in. There's no reason why this kid is still on the street. And in the news booth here, let's get into this in the news booth here. My first guest last year, around this time, we were talking with Mattie C of MattieC's Sports. You know, I had talked to this guy. I've been kind of pushing this guy, you know, hey, you're doing all this running, it's all good, but you know, you got to get ready for the big one. You got to get ready for the 26.2, bro. And you know, at that time, Mattie was like, you know what, one step at a time. But then, as you saw Mattie come on this show, and it kind of clicked, and he says, you know what, there's really no reason. And Mattie K has been doing it. He's been doing it this past weekend. He ran in the Boston B.A.A. 10K for the 2025. And tell him about the results and how you did this second time around. Tell us how you felt. Tell us how the experience was this second time around.
Well, first off, man, I got to go with Cool in the Gang today. It's too hot, man. Too hot today, Massachusetts. But that day, Keith, it was literally the exact same weather. Like, you came into Boston to come support. I appreciate that. In 24, 25, the same thing. Downpoured for like 10 minutes before the race. Got, you know, a little bit like spitting rain, and then just ran my ass off for 55 minutes instead of 57. I thought I didn't break my record because I didn't look at the time, but I beat it in 2 minutes before. So it's just improvement, you know? So again, like I finally am reaching out. People are reaching out to me saying, you know, you inspired me. I said, listen, I appreciate that, but you got to inspire you first. And you can don't train for me, train for yourself, because that's what I've done. And I'm glad I can help people out like that. So running is a great mental health, like, proactive thing to do. And I always tell people stay out of the dark, because watching TV all day and being in the dark is the worst thing you could do. But man, I'm grinding.
I got to kind of bust your balls, because you just said, you came on here, you just said it's too hot. And guess what? Not too hot for them Ethiopians who be coming here and running the marathon and breaking records and finishing in less than 3 hours. Come on, Mattie. You got to put it out there. You got to be out there in them 90-degree days, man, because them Ethiopians are running from lions in the jungle in 100 and plus.
Yo, that's why I love November and fucking December, when I'm out in the snow and everybody's like, oh, you just ran in the blizzard? Yeah, hell yeah. I could be cool. Like I could be cooling out just running in the snow. I don't care. Summer man is tough. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating it that day. But you know what? We got accepted to Boston half in November and got New Hampshire in October. So keeping busy. Like, saying it's fun. It's a game to me, but at the same time, it's like, listen, got to start looking at Boston qualifier runs. Got to start doing a couple marathons, not just halves. Got to do more marathons. So it's what I'm working on. It's not like you lace up your shoes and you go. You got to get the type of shoes. You got to get all types of stuff. So it's fun, but you got to really, if you want to get to the Boston Marathon, you got to do your thing. Like, there's a lot of strict rules to get into that.
Oh, yeah,
besides $10,000.
And let's talk about the shirt you had on here. You had a fire ass shirt on. What was it? Phoenix Rising, it says on the shirt. What was that about, the team?
Yeah, man. So I ran in a series. It was called, and it's a great organization out of Rhode Island. They're called the Run Roadie, with Roadie being RH with the, and so they have a thing called the Grand Slam. There's one in Pawtucket, there was one in North Kingston, and there was two in Providence. So they're 5Ks. You got 4 of them for one price of $100, I believe. And like, you know me, I'm a social media presence on Instagram all the time with stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they catch on, and then that's a great thing about running. You meet people, but bro, then I got a guy followed me on Instagram, and he's the leader of or creator of Phoenix Rising Run Club, which is based out of Rhode Island. And I said, well, I'm just wondering, because I'm not from Rhode Island, I'm from Massachusetts, but it's basically to support others, and, you know, from the mental health part of it to religion, you know, like practicing a lot of faith and stuff like that. So I can appreciate that. Everybody's not the same, and, you know, they all support each other, and it's a great little club. So I was rocking that on race day. Actually, I have two things I rock for them. So much shout out to Phoenix Rising Club Run Club. So,
and you picked up a sponsor during this time. You've now got a cashew sponsor. Talk about that, man, because you got some good things going on. You and Travis both, man.
I recommend to everybody on this show, you have to get these cashews, man. Saber Sabor cashews. I told you about it. I was like, yo, okay, this is a whole game changer here of deliciousness. And me, I wasn't a cashew person, but man, I wish these guys would go to just like wholesale the BJ's and just like, I'll take all your cashews right now, like $400 worth right now.
I was eating cashews last week during the show Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor, and during the booth last week. And Kevin Jeffries said, he called me old man cashews. He says only old men eat cashews. You know, and I do it the old way like my dad. When I take a handful, I shake them while I eat them. I don't know why. That's something that I learned and developed from my dad. But I love cashews, and they have different flavors. They have all types of different flavors. You told me to try the churro. They have churro cashews.
Yes.
That's
honey
crazy.
Sriracha.
Great.
Fire, man. Fire.
And they did. I actually did reach out to them. They said there's a code. You do have a code for yourself. People, if you go to that website that he just mentioned for the cashews and order, and if you put the code in, there is a discount. So, and it also helps Mattie in his sponsorship for running. So if you can, go on and help out and check it out. Margaret, thank you for being in the chat. She says, hello, Keith. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. Tell them that the website again for the cashews, Matt.
It's just seniorsaboursnacks.com.
.com. Okay.
If you literally just type in Senior Sabor, it'll go right there, and it's the first thing that pops up.
Yep. Now I'll make sure to get the code from them, because they sent me the code when you order stuff to make sure you get credits.
And it's all for you people that are very serious about your nutrition stuff, all the GMO stuff, and, you know, plant-based, everything. It's good stuff, man. I mean, Keith,
cashews are great fiber. Cashews are great fiber for it.
And you can vouch for this company. I mean, they're doing big things, so please eat that stuff up, literally.
Yeah. Good stuff. And then also on top of running, you know, Mattie is put the running first and foremost, but you are still following and supporting those in MMA and fighting. You were actually down in Connecticut for the bare knuckle fighting competition, which we saw our guy, Slippery Peter Barrett. Oh, talk about sending somebody home with his feelings hurt.
Yes, sir. We said a little choice things about that guy, but, you know, I'm not gonna lie, man. Bare knuckle is so fun live, man. Like, it's a whole nother like realm.
Well, it's brought new life to a lot of MMA fighters who are not at that level of UFC MMA now. So now you're seeing a lot of these stars transition to the bare knuckle fighting. How was it there? Was it packed? Was it sold out?
I would say about 50-50. I think the game out here in the East, over here, isn't as popularized as it would be, say, it needs to be more promoted than it was up here, I believe, because there's another fighter who I interviewed. His brother is, well, they're both the son of Tommy the Duke Morrison. So his son, Kenzie Morrison, fights bare knuckle, and he fought in Texas to a pretty packed house. And, you know, I think it's just the regions need to all come together, and we'll see some really good fireworks going on.
Well, that card was stacked because John
was.
Doomsday Howard was on there, right?
Randy Costa was there. And actually, Lionel Boogs Young was the corner for Doomsday Howard that night.
And Yorgon De Castro was there. He fought, but he lost.
Yes, he lost. Yes, he lost. Yep. A lot of good Massachusetts fighters. Oh, absolutely, man. It was fantastic. And we stayed the whole time. We had some fun. You know, it was just a good time. And it's a whole game changer. And I think it's great because MMA and boxing guys who are, you know, they transition to bare knuckle and they love it. So I think it's a great sport, and I just want it to rise like up to the levels that it needs to be.
Nice. You know, it's a great transition. Like I said, it's been coming out of nowhere. That and the slap boxing those two have really picked up. When I first saw the slap boxing, I was like, even the bare knuckle, those two things, I'm like, bare knuckle. What commission is going to sign off on bare knuckle fighting? I says, it's never going to happen. But somehow they got the commissions to sign off on it. You know, That's the whole reason for boxing and gloves was, you know, the dangers of injury. But bare knuckle is there and it's here, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's here to stay.
I will say that through a fan standpoint and being what we are, Keith, what we have done, like covering events like this, and we see the other side of it as a referee side of it, as a fighter side of it, like seeing what they.
But we're back. So all right, finish that up because you were talking about, you know, the refs. I don't think that.
I just say that the refs are really more in tune to the fighter. Like if they see the fighters in danger, they see it a lot quicker, and they're quick to the punch that nope, he's down, he's out. It's not like a Gotti, Mickey Ward war where they're just gonna fight it out, bloody. They really look at the condition of the fighter. I think a little bit more than MMA.
Oh yeah, I would think so. With bare knuckle, I think that's exactly how they're gonna go about it, and I think the commission is definitely gonna put into play what needs to be done, to protect these fighters. So I'm going to say it's definitely what these commissions sign off on in each state. I'm going to say is definitely a big deal when you're talking bare knuckle fighting. There's no protection. It's open fist. And it's power. It's straight power. And like I said, I am surprised that it was approved. I'm still surprised that it's approved and we've got the fight going on, but it is what it is. And it's become one of the fastest growing sports out there.
Yep.
See what happens. They can continue to keep going. Boxing. Talk about boxing. There's been some stuff. Oh, Boston Door Guys is watching. They got a great podcast. What's going on, Boston Door Guys? If you guys want to see a hilarious show, check out Boston Door Guys podcast. I'm glad to see these guys out here checking out the show. Good stuff. Boxing. Paul knocked out. Your thoughts? And this was probably one of his worst losses that he's received this past week.
Man, I think he's just a disgrace to the sport, to be honest with you.
Oh, damn. Ooh, really?
Jake Paul? Yeah. I think it's a disgrace. So, I mean, I just don't think it's right that he's just doing all this stuff, and we'll see what happens people stop watching. It's going to happen. They're going to stop watching. It's just a game. Like I'm excited more for Canelo and Crawford fighting on Netflix for nothing. Where are you going to get that nowadays? You know what I mean?
We've got a trilogy coming up in July with Toronto and Katie. We're getting that third one. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for. Because if you all saw that Tyson fight on Netflix, the fight of the night was with the ladies. That was hands down.
That was Serrano and Serrano and Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor, yes. So they're coming back for their third fight, and the chances of them having what they had in 1 and 2 these two girls know each other. Their styles are somewhat similar, and I think Netflix, by quickly signing them to a third fight, was hands down the smartest thing that they could have done. This is going to be crazy. I'll be sitting here waiting to watch that fight. I'll be home. I'm gonna make sure I'll be home for that one.
Serrano, stop leading with your head, man. You're getting all those headbutts all in there, man. I know it's her style, but
that
it's gonna be a good fight. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a great fight.
That was the big complaint. That was the big complaint coming out of that fight. And she was warned. The referee did warn her a few times during that fight, but it was still a hell of a fight. And I believe she had points taken away also in that fight. And still it came out. Yeah, so it still came out a good fight, a close fight.
But people don't know she leads with her head, so it's not like she purposely headbutted this woman, but Taylor was leading into them. So I mean, don't just watch it to watch it. Understand what you're watching.
Yeah, and they know that, and I'm sure she's been told heading into this one. She's got to watch it. She'll lose points again. I'm expecting another banger. You? Are you expecting another banger or a decisive win?
No, because what I see now is what we just talked about. I think Serrano's going to back up. She's not going to lead. She's going to be offered game because she's going to have that in her mind with the leading with her head is going to cause you points, and you need those. But Katie Taylor is going to have a whole nother game. I mean, they're both trying to probably fight Chantel Cameron again. So it's going to be interesting, and I love it. So we'll see what happens. I can't. That's one I can't bet on. You're not going to see me bet on that fight. No way.
If I'm a betting guy, I'm not betting on that fight. I'm watching to watch.
No.
And that's on Netflix, people. That fight's going to be on Netflix. If you got a Netflix account, this is better than pay-per-view. You don't want to miss this fight. These ladies, and it is, I think it's at Madison Square Garden again, if I'm not mistaken. I think this fight will be at MSG for this one, as I think the first one was.
Yeah,
I think that's locked in to be packed. If I could go to that fight, I think I would go to that. And I got to see what they're going to put on the undercard. That's the main.
Oh my God, the first fight on that undercard was the ugliest thing. I was like, oh my God, they got amateur 10-year-olds that can fight better than that first undercard fight. Oh my God, that was the worst thing in the world.
That was the YouTube guy. You talking about the Tyson undercard, the first undercard?
Yeah, the guy from India versus some other dude.
Yeah, he was like a YouTuber, and he was this. Yeah. I when I found out what the story was behind that first undercard fight, I was like, okay, I get it now. I understand why it was so sloppy. And then I was like, it wasn't that bad then, because I thought they weren't professionals. It was this YouTuber from India and the other guy. They weren't professionals. They just put this fight together. That second fight was crazy, and I'm surprised we haven't seen a rematch of that fight yet.
Oh yeah, you had to say the name too. But it was heartbreaking when you you hear Rosie Perez, who's a huge boxing fan, is just like cringing because she doesn't even want to talk about the fight. But,
And
but
a lot of people crapped on her, and they didn't realize that she's been involved with boxing since she first blew up in, you know, the movie that she was in. When she came out of that movie, people realized that she wasn't just this dancer from Living Color and, you know, White Men Can't Jump. You know, she knew her boxing, and she's been in the background for years in the boxing
her
world.
intelligence for the boxing world is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. So for those who didn't know that, you know, I saw a lot of people out there kind of slamming her. I'm like, nah, she knows her shit. You know, she knows her shit, Rosie Perez. So, your thoughts on the Canelo fight? Who you like, man? Before we get into other topics.
Bud Crawford all day, man.
Really?
Bud Crawford all day.
How
That
many
dude
rounds?
has just got to. With Canelo, probably the 7th. They're going late. It's not going to just be a quick knockdown. It's going to be a lot of this mix and matching, and you know, man, Crawford is just too smart. He's a very smart fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's action packed every time. But Canelo's the same way. But I just see Bud Crawford beating what's it called? Canelo. And they had a big fight. They had a big stare down at FanFest the other day in New York.
Yeah, for that. But see, here's the thing now. I don't trust these so-called fights and stuff now because I feel like a lot of it's, I hate to say it, I feel like a lot of it's staged because they know it's going to go viral. So I feel like when we see these things now, they're just selling the fight, you know, and I don't feel like it's authentic anymore, you know. I question it all now. I question a lot in these days because of the fact that, you know, we now have 5 professional teams in Vegas when after the UNLV scandal, Vegas was hands off for any type of professional or collegiate sports. And now all of a sudden you've got ESPN with their own betting website. So I just have a love-hate relationship with professional sports right now. As much as I love it, you know, you see the NBA championships go once again to Game 7 when you know behind the scenes that the bulk of the money is made for a championship series to go a Game 7 regardless of who wins because everybody gets paid bonuses. And I sit here and I say to myself time and time again, okay, here we go, another Game 7 championship game. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Oh, there is a question that I've got Mattie on here for that I really wanted to talk to Mattie about on this show.
Okay.
Mattie, how the fuck does the same fucking thing have to happen to the same Bruins fans twice? And we've got to see one of our most beloved players leave here, get shipped off, and get a friggin' Stanley Cup, as we saw with the Colorado Avalanche many years ago. And now we have to see it with Florida. What are your feelings on that? It was like Die Hard to me. And John McClane. How's the same damn thing happen to the same damn guy twice?
Bro, I will say though, there's two differences.
You called it. You called it when they let Marchand go. You posted about this.
Here's my thing though, is like they got rid of their captain, they dumped him. You know, that's whatever. So Marchand in the playoffs, what does he always do? He turns it on. Help them out Game 2, help them out this, that, and the third. And he's one of those unsung people that sneak through, the little rat, as they call him, or big nose that came through, who bangs it home, wins the Stanley Cup. Am I mad about it? No. Am I disappointed? No. It's the Bruins organization. It's their fault. Now you're going to run on Pastrnak? Who's going to be your leader? There isn't one. So congrats to Marchand. And I think Ray Bourque was different because Ray Bourque was fucking struggling with the Bruins for so long. He had so many chances with the Bruins in the 90s, early 90s when they played Edmonton. I wouldn't want to play Edmonton in the early 90s either. But you know what? Like, he banged out with the Bruins and he won the cup. I was happy for him. And I just learned this the other day, Keith, that what the Brockton organization did is they allowed Ray Bourque to bring the cup back home to Boston to celebrate with the.
I was at the game when he came home and brought the cup back. Me and my buddy Eric went to that game on a Sunday afternoon. I'll never forget it.
So you know the story now. So like to have them sign off on how big Ray Bourque was to this city, which he was, and still to this day, still in the States, still doing his thing. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy Marchand did what he did, and I'm happy with what Bourque did. I just don't like the Avalanche. I'm more of a Red Wings fan because that was me in the 90s. I was a Red Wings fan, and it was hard to be a Bruins fan at that time because all you had was like Joe Thornton and.
Well, they weren't spending the money. They wouldn't. They weren't spending that money. And when they lost Bourque and Bourque got that Stanley Cup, that's when they realized we got to spend money, and they did. They started spending money, and they were able to put it together and get a Stanley Cup. But
yep,
for me as a fan, I still felt like here we go again. John McClane, Die Hard 2. I was pissed. Man. And when he scored that goal, that helped.
Oh, that was dirty.
I'm like, you serious, bro?
That was dirty. That was some dirtiness.
So, congrats to Brad Marchand, who actually, speaking of Brad, one of the supporters of this show, I Love Boston Sports. One of the shirts that put I Love Boston Sports on the map with their first sports celebrity was Brad Marchand had a Wu-Tang, a Brutang shirt.
Brutang, remember?
It was a Brutang shirt, and that shirt, we actually was giving those shirts away to people on this show. So if you go on our Facebook page and look way back, we were giving out the Brutang shirt that Brad Marchand had signed off on. And it was a nice shirt, so big shout outs. I completely forgot about that. I gotta tell Marlon Williams I gotta see if he'll re-release that shirt. That would be a badass shirt to Brutang Clan. And I forget the local rapper here, Acrobatic. He had a whole Brutang song during the Stanley Cup run for those guys. So check out the Brutang Clan ain't nothing to F with.
No, never.
Yep. So good stuff. Guys, we're on here with Mattie C. Matt, you gonna stick around with me?
Absolutely. I love being on the booth.
All right. So it's 7:33, and like I said, we're gonna close out at 8, and then we got Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast. So let's get back into the news booth. Let's talk again. So this inspiration on this running. It looks like it's starting to really rub off on Sadie, your daughter Sadie.
Oh man, dude! Like I told her, I was like, Sadie, it's too hot. Like, can't be doing it now. But she's up to, it was a half a mile. Now she's up to a mile. I mean, of course, like she stops for a minute, but she wants to do it, and we're working on her to do a kids run. It's not me that's saying, hey, Sadie, let's go. We need to run. No, she sees me and is like, Dad, I want to run too. Okay, no problem. I bought her some shoes.
Brockton used to have one every weekend. Brockton used to have a kids run every weekend through DW, and the people who ran it retired.
I thought they had the summer run series.
They did, Brockton. But the people retired that ran that kids run at DW. If I'm not mistaken, if you guys are in the chat, but I believe they retired. I believe last year it came to an end. But that was a big kids run. Somebody else.
I believe Abington has one too.
Okay.
Abington, I think, has one. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're working on her doing a little kid run before, like, I run a 5K or something, because they do like 100 meter and stuff like that. You know, they get medals and whatever. So. Yeah, she's a little bit inspired. She got the run bug, I guess.
There you go. Now, are you thinking about, before we get into some topics, are you thinking about doing the Spartan run this year, or are you just going to strictly keep it the marathons, the 5Ks, and stuff of that sort?
To be honest, no. And the only reason I say that because
risk injury, you can.
No, just because of you need a lot of upper body strength to be doing some of the obstacles, and I need to gain more upper body strength to do those things because I'd be like noodles going like this trying to get through the thing, looking like a fool, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good stuff. Let's get back into the news booth here. As you guys know, today was hot. We got up into 100 degrees in some areas, and a good friend of mine, Erica, who owns the Star Drive-In in Taunton, her business has made the news. She actually closed the restaurant today because of the heat. She didn't want her younger staff working in the heat, and he actually closed the Star Drive-In. I saw a lot of people saying it's the wussification of America and blah, blah, blah. But people seem to forget there are things changing in this world. And, you're seeing people now take days off for mental health days. You're seeing professional players take days off for mental health. Simone Biles took a day off, a little bit of time off from the Olympics to get her mental health right because she was having PTSD flashbacks of the sexual abuse because that trial was going on. And I saw people talking shit, and I'm like, but you don't understand what she's going through. She's over there where she's in the country where that happened, and that's creating triggers for her. So she took her time off. So big ups to Erica for taking the day off today. And I'm hearing she did still pay her staff that would have been on today, but instead of having them swelter in the heat behind deep fryers, she closed for today. And big ups to her. So and if you want to go down and support them, it is the Taunton Star Drive-In. It's right off of 140. I think it's like exit 7 or something. You'll see it. They've got good food down there, good ice cream and stuff. Make sure to support them. Also here in Brockton, 36 Main Street, which used to be the unemployment office, is now the unemployment office has moved. They're saying that this building could become 35 new units of condo housing, which is exactly everything that's going on down there is condos. We've now seen a lot of the homeless people are now gone from under the bridges. It's not like it was because Mainspring, Father Bill's, is now moved and it's up over behind the VA, the old VA. Well, it's behind the VA, but the old military base area up close to 24. So all that homeless congestion is now up on that side of town. So we're seeing a complete flip of how this area is changing, and it's only going to raise property values. I tell people all the time, with that new first responder facility opening at the top of Legion Parkway, it's only going to make that area better. It's only going to boost the property values. Murder and Go gas station, which is at the top of Legion Parkway on the right side there, because that's what the nickname has gotten over the years. That's going to change. Once that first responder facility opens, you're not going to have all the riffraff and all those people there. Green Street's not going to be a place where people get shot at 3 or 4 in the morning because there's going to be a lot of activity. Warren Ave is being changed to a 2-lane road now, and that's going to be 2 lanes, and it's going to be both ways, which means what? It means more traffic versus the one way that it's. So, and that's going from all the way down to Vicente's, and then all the way down to Forest. So that's a big street widening. They're taking people's property by eminent domain so they can widen the street. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to see the change come to Brockton. So 35 units of condos. That adds 35 people in that ward for voting. It adds people to take that train. Now that we have that Fall River train here, I take that Fall River train. It's now, the commuter rail now runs pretty much every half hour versus every hour. It's nice. It's nice to have this Fall River train and have people have this option now to go to Fall River or New Bedford. So, we didn't have that before. Ended in Middleborough, and that was it. And it's nice to get down to what we call the South Coast. And we also have the Cape Flyer train. People, all summer long, it's $10 to go down to the Cape. They have a Cape dinner train. If you have a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other, they also have a Cape train, which is $10 to go down to the Cape and back. But you can reserve dinner on the special dinner car and have dinner. on the train to the Cape, candlelit dinner and stuff of that sort. So if you want to do something different, check that out. That's a good little thing to do. Let's see what we got here. We're going to get into the entertainment booth. In the entertainment booth, Dave Wedge, who's been on this show many, many times. Dave Wedge is on his book tour. He is touring around with this book, Blood and Hate, which is about the Marvin Hagler come-up story and how he went overseas and won that fight and got, a barrage of bottles thrown on him. If you guys remember, this was back when, that middleweight division took off, some of the best fighting we've seen. But, this book, reason why this book is so popular and so big right now is because he's already signed a deal to make this book a movie. So Dave is out there. So please, please, please go out there, show this man his support. The book's available online right now, Amazon.com. He's doing a great book tour. He was at Brockton Beer Company last week, doing great stuff. So I'm going to reach out to him and try to get him on and talk about this. He actually came on the show and talked about the unveiling of the movie. Also, this past week, it was Sopranos night at the Brockton Rocks. Steve Schrippa
I
returned.
saw that.
Yeah,
Saw
Steve
that.
Schrippa returned to Brockton. As you see in the picture right here, Matt Stanton, who is running for, I believe, Ward 3 school committee. He's here taking his picture with Steven Schrippa. It was funny because everybody's talking about Steve Schrippa coming to Brockton. It was like his second time coming to Brockton. He was already here for Brockton for me and Mark Schippetta's event. Or Mark had an event with his kids. Steve Schrippa came here that year, and Brockton Cafe dropped the ball. They were supposed to make fresh spaghetti and meatballs for the guy. He's a Sopranos guy. He's Italian. And we go and we pick up the food and bring it to him. And the first thing he does is he gets on stage to tell some jokes, and he bashes Brockton because they served him frozen meatballs. I go back, and I thought he was just kidding around, but then he served me frozen meatballs. I had to take the food back to Brockton Cafe, and the owner, rest in peace, but he was pissed because he had left instructions to have the food made fresh that night for Steven Schrippa, while the cook made the food the day before and froze it and thought he was just going to heat it up and send it down. It was an epic fail. Epic fail. And Steve Schrippa's exact words were, I come to Brockton, home of Marciano, and you guys serve me some shitty frozen meatballs. That was...
But I'm back now.
Oh, yeah, because the money was right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm
sure they let his dog in, too.
Yeah, and everybody was here. And for those who don't know, Blue Bloods is coming back as a different... It's coming back under a different name. It's one of those shows that's kind of a cult classic show. We got hometown legend here, Donnie Wahlberg. He's on the show, and they're coming back, and they're doing the Blue Bloods series. It's kind of like a spinoff. So good stuff. Chris Gagney, I see you in the chat. What's going on? Boston Door guys are still watching. I got to reach out to them. Maybe I'll try to get them on the podcast, help them promote their podcast. Also in the entertainment booth, MetaQuest. So last week I talked about on this show how Asus ROG, which is the handheld unit, they signed an agreement with Microsoft. They're going to be putting out an Xbox handheld for Asus. That was big news. Today it was announced that MetaQuest 3S is going to have an Xbox Edition VR. So you'll be able to play Xbox Anywhere. Now, I have a MetaQuest VR right now, and you can do Xbox Play Anywhere through the URL, through internet access. But this is going to have the games. You can get them right in and get in there and play these games. So they're talking the $399 price tag, which means I'll probably just give up my previous MetaQuest so I can get this new one. I'm not sure. Have you played VR yet? Any VR games yet, Matt? No?
Nah, I've seen AFV. I'm not interested.
I did. So, you know what? you know
what I'm talking about, bro. People playing boxing things and getting scared and they're breaking their TVs and walls and stuff, bro.
So here's the thing with that. I see these videos and I'm like, okay, this is all scripted, because when you're in VR, the first thing it makes you do is it makes you draw your surroundings so you're safe, so you don't end up punching a TV or punching people or falling downstairs. There's a thing, and it tells you and it warns you when you're in it. So when I see all this, I'm like, okay, obviously this is set up because they didn't set their, you know, their thing up correctly or whatever. It's all for whatever. But of all the games, Matty, what do you think I play the most on VR?
Most on VR, probably COD. Or horror games.
Nope. Nope.
Minecraft. I don't know.
VR casino. Now, I hate casinos. I hate gambling. When I go to casinos just for food. But for some reason, you go in the VR casino, you spin the thing, it gives you money every day. And I'm like, Big Willie, yo, I go in the VR casino and I taught myself how to play roulette, I've learned and taught myself how to play craps. I played blackjack like a fiend on VR casino. Like I'm Big Willie. I walked up to the table one time with 25 million in VR credits and walked in the room, was at the table. The weird thing about being in the VR casino, you're in there with other people, real people. But the weird thing that weirds me out is when people want to pass you cigarettes and drinks like it's a real casino. I'm like, bro, it's VR.
No, thank you.
Like, get out my space, bro. I'm gonna have to go live because you can go live. You can actually go live when you're in VR, and I could actually show you guys a VR session of poker or something. One of the games that they have in VR casino is you bet your money, and you have to get out of the rocket ship before it explodes. The longer it flies, the more money you win. That's another one that I like when I'm in there. But yeah, if you're looking for me on VR, Sinister One is in the VR casino all the time, Big Willie style. Big Willie style. I'll be here with coins on top of markers. And like I said, I've gone to casino many times and could care less. I didn't even know, to be honest, I didn't even know how to play craps or bet on craps until I got into the VR casino.
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy.
They had the free download for PlayStation Network. It was called Three Kings. Dude, I was in the poker section for like days upon days. I was like, yeah, I'm ranked like 8,000 in the world. Probably there was 8,001 playing, but you're like, yo, I'm there, I'm here. They give you, like you said, you do a little a slot machine. They give you like 500 credits or whatever. Yeah, VR poker and stuff is cool, but
it's crazy.
Real life stuff, there's actual money. Like, no thanks, bro.
Yeah, because see, I don't mind losing $1.5 million in a blackjack hand, you know, when it's just VR credit, you know. So I'm like, you know what, I could care less on this, but I love it. I love it. So guys, if you ever want to see me in VR, I'm going to go live. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to go live. Also in the entertainment booth, hey, y'all know me. I'm a Godzilla fan through and through. It has been announced that there is a sequel coming. I announced that the sequel was coming for Godzilla -1, but here's the deal now. The big announcement is that they're going to begin filming Godzilla -1 this August, the sequel. And everybody is thinking what it's going to be and how it's going to be. I don't know. I do know that, you know, this Godzilla is based off the Shin Godzilla. I can't wait. I might have to have another movie night in the backyard with Godzilla -1 again. I did it 4 times last year. My neighbors were probably like, what the hell is this guy watching? So, good stuff. Good stuff. Did you see Godzilla -1 yet? Are you a Godzilla fan, Matty?
No, but I know how big you are. If you have Randolph Cinema, you're closing that shit down.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to go. And let's get into the sports booth. Some sad news for the Celtics, but understandable. I'm confused on this one. The second one coming up that's breaking news, I get it. I agree with it. But the Celtics traded away Jrue Holiday for Anfernee Simmons from Portland and 2 first-round picks. It's a good trade. You're giving up Jrue Holiday. You're getting Anfernee Simmons. He's a good player, and you're getting two second-round picks. It's a good trade, but I don't know. I feel like Jrue Holiday. I thought he stepped up. I don't see why. Maybe the offer was just too good. Maybe that's Portland. Portland put the offer out there. The Celtics weren't even looking to get rid of him. But I guess this deal, getting him out there, was just too good. Was too good. Your thoughts on Jrue Holiday going?
I think it was more. I think it's more of this. That's what I think. But you know what? I think the Celtics went out on the situation, 2 picks in I don't know what years it is, but and they get this kid. I don't know too much about him, but put a new fresh face in there, and then Celtics got some good players still around, so I don't see any problem. Well, actually, there's a new news.
Yeah, he's got some youth. And in this other one here coming up, breaking news, there is a 3-team trade involving the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks will take Kristaps Porzingis off the Celtics' hands. Look, first and foremost, I love the guy. When he's out there, he plays. He's a beast. But here's the problem, people. Part of the reason why they lost this championship, this Eastern Conference Final Series here, in that round, that second round, part of that was because one guy goes down and blows his Achilles tendon, but Porzingis ends up with this mystery ailment of where he couldn't breathe, added to all of these other ailments that we have seen over his time here. Granted, he comes back. Granted, he plays like a beast. The problem is that he's not healthy 100% of the time. And when you pay all that money for a guy, he should be able to be. If it wasn't for Horford, you wouldn't even know this most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Because Horford balls out. If Horford sucked and you were losing those points, then you would be all up in arms. You would be really happy that he's gone. I can get it. I understand why Kristaps is gone from here. I agree with this trade. Atlanta, I think they're taking a big risk. I think they're taking a huge risk. I think they're taking the same risk that who's the player that they got rid of last year that I was saying? Oh man, he messed up his knee, and then he messed up something else. And they shipped him off, and then he got there, and I think it was like 3 weeks into the season, he messed up his knee again, and he was out. And I forget who that was. Robert Williams? And I'm forgetting his last name, but put it in the chat, everybody. But I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm talking about. He left here, and he got injured. He was injured within weeks. So I think Atlanta's taking a risk, in my opinion. I think the Celtics get everything to gain in this trade by getting rid of him, and I think the Hawks have everything to lose. Honest, in a big man.
Well, I mean, it's the trade value of him is pretty good right now, but I mean, you know, he is a good player, like you said, but there's different ailments sometimes, and then. Look, we all thought Gordon Hayward was going to be the next big thing here in Boston, and then his career flaked. But I'm not saying that with Kristaps Porzingis, but I'm saying like now if we traded off Derek White or something, then I'd be a little pissed off as a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
With Porzingis or something, that's not something that's going to affect my.
I don't think a lot of people are mad. I don't think a lot of people are mad that I think when you talk to any 100% true blue Celtics fan right now, they're gonna say, we like him, but I'm sorry, he's got to go. And if we can get something for him, let's get something for him, because we can't come back around in 2026 and try to make that push again with a guy who we're not getting 100% out of. So I think everybody in Celtics Nation kind of agrees with this one, even though it's breaking news. I think. And
isn't the draft this week?
I believe so. I believe it is.
The NBA draft is this week, so let's see what we get out of that too.
Eric Phillips in the chat, he says, I agree with you about the trade. Yeah, I don't think anybody's mad at Porzingis being traded away. There comes we all got to put our GM hats on and be like, yeah, Yeah, he's got to go. So I got to see who he's going to get. Kevin Jeffries is in the chat. He says the draft's tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
I thought so. Thank you, Kevin.
Yep, tomorrow night. So we'll see. Also, Patriots training camp begins July 23rd. There you go, guys. There's all the dates for you to be able to go down, check out the Patriots. They also have one practice that they do in the stadium. So it's a good time. Make sure to head on down there. This team is quietly building for this season. I can't wait to see what this team can do.
You don't have the training schedule for the Tennessee Titans?
Kevin Jeffries, do you have the training schedule? Kevin Jeffries, who's a Tennessee Titans fan, he's in the chat. Does Kevin Jeffries have that? Titans up. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting because we got their coach. We've got 2 players from the Titans, and we've got the Titans on the schedule this year. So it's going to be real interesting. And I think he said hater.
And well, I don't hate Tennessee. I mean, they're pretty stupid for getting rid of their best running back since Eddie George, probably.
Preach. Preach on it. Also in the sports booth, MMA fighter Jon Jones retires from the UFC. Then 24 hours after, let's get into the legal booth. 24 hours after he retires, guess what we find out? New criminal charges have been filed because Jon Bones Jones back in February got in a car accident. He was drunk and left the scene of an accident. Once again, legal issues. Here's the thing why I'm mentioning this on the show. I don't care. This is a guy that's been given so many effing chances in MMA, and he's blown it. And I don't know why Dana White put up with all of this. This is a guy, he was about to have a big fight. Dana White was putting a lot of money into this fight. And once again, Jon Bones Jones sticks it to Dana White and retires. And now we know why he's retired and stuck it to Dana White. The hypocrisy in this, and how the thing that pisses me off about this is that Dana White is giving Jon Jones so many chances, yet Dana White shit all over the Diaz brothers for weed. And the last time that I think it was Nate, wanted to come back, it was a whole big run around that Dana wanted him to do and go through all these hoops to fight about the weed. And I'm saying to myself, what the hell does Dana White not like about the Diaz brothers, but he loves Jon Jones? And people don't come out here and say because Jon Jones puts asses in the seat, because I'm gonna tell you in the debate, I'm gonna tell you, if you ask me, I think the Diaz brothers can also put asses in the seat just as well as Jon Bone Jones. That's my opinion. I think fight for fight. I think if you told me that Nate Diaz was coming back to fight in this fight and filling for Jon Jones, I think you're going to have the same amount of people buy tickets. I don't know, you, Nate or Nick, what do you think, man? Because these guys can sell fights.
They both can fucking bang, and they banged with the best of them. They beat the shit out of people, and they're fun when they do it. Nate doesn't have to say much. Like he'll be like Conor McGregor will try to like get it under his skin. He's like, yeah, I wear a fucking white t-shirt, so what? Like I wear regular shit, and they're too quick. That's what's good about the Diaz brothers. They're too quick with it. Now I think Nick Diaz is going through some issues himself, so I hope that gets better. But the Diaz brothers in general really made the UFC rise up, especially when Nate beat McGregor the second time. So, you know, I mean,
that was a good ass fight.
It was. Ooh. Yeah, it was. And you know what? People don't see that the youth in the Stockton, California area have really gained a lot from the Diaz brothers and boxing community, MMA, because of them. So they're doing good things outside of the UFC as well. And like you said, Dana gave them the little push around saying, hey, like, I'm sick of your shit. Like, you want this fight? No. Like, it's bullshit. Just like John Jones. Like, John Jones has been doing he was an unbelievable fighter, but your legacy is getting pushed through the mud. So OJ was a great running back, but he murdered somebody, so that's okay. Like, it's kind of like that's my kind of mind frame for that.
Kevin Jeffries says he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, but he's tarnished. He's tarnished his stock. He's really tarnished his stock. And I've been tired of it. I've been tired of it because I felt like he ruined his legacy 3 arrests ago. You know, and you can only keep putting up with so much. And sometimes I feel like when you allow somebody to keep coming back, this is why they continue to do the shit that they do, because you keep giving them that rope to come back. Like I said, it's not just the Diaz. There's I forget. There's another fighter out there that Dana White has beat up on from getting fights because of the stuff that they've gotten into. And you know, John Jones. Like I said, John Jones. I'm not knocking his accomplishments, but I feel like his legal problems and the way he just right here. So he shits on Dana White like this all the time. No more. Dana White cannot let him come back after this. No way.
Well, my thing to the not in Kevin, I agree with, you know, GOAT in a certain stance, but you got to have it all around. Like, I will say, Derek Jeter, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, one of the greatest of all time, outside and inside. Jordan, inside and outside. Wayne Gretzky. You know, you don't hear any of them getting in trouble like these guys. Those are real GOATs that are really, you know, the true
I have a spin players. On that. I'll let you finish, though. I'll tell you
why. Catch it up, my man. Tom Brady, too.
Yep. So, and here's my thing. And Mattie makes a good point. Mattie talks about all of these older players and why they're GOATs and they were good outside and good outside and good inside their sport. And I'm just going to I've talked about this on the show and I tell people this.
And sorry, I'll go with Hagler too, because he was a man of the people in Brockton too.
Yep. So, social media and TMZ ruined sports cover-ups as we know it. You know, back in the day, if a player was driving 150 miles an hour in the 30-mile-an-hour zone, guess what happened? The player was pulled over. He called his agent. His agent immediately showed up at the police station and says, hey, how many tickets can I get you to the next game? And police officer would be like, okay, I'm going to take them tickets, and nobody knew anything. The problem is once TMZ hit the scene and people started getting paid for information on the stupid shit that people do as in celebrities, once that value became up here, that destroyed all of the stories that we didn't hear. Because we're hearing all these stories about Jordan and all these people outside that we never heard of. Because back then, I'll get you Bulls tickets, front row. Sure, no problem. The agent would go down. But guess what? Now you can sell front row tickets for almost $3,000-$4,000, and they're selling. So why would I give up freebies when I can sell them tickets for $3,000? So that's why you're seeing like a Shedeur Sanders in the paper last week for driving 100 miles an hour in the 40-mile-an-hour zone in Cincinnati. In Cleveland. So you know, this type of stuff used to be. This was part of the stuff the agents used to cover up with no problem. No problem. The agent would be right down there, and whoever needed to be taken care of was taken care of. The problem is that is worth more now. Those stories are worth more than any ticket, and that's why we see this. I'm just letting people know that's
and yes, you're absolutely right with that. Yeah, you're right with that. And to the quick Jeter thing is, from what I've read with his books and stuff, guy would take one drink. Even if he had one or two, take automatic cab home. Even if he had his car, automatic cab home. So like, you don't hear about that stuff, and you don't know why these guys are the GOATs.
Yep.
Like, so you got to have it inside and outside. So my John Jones thing is, like, hey, you fucked up way too many times. It's time to discuss, are you really the GOAT all around? Yes, you are in the fight game itself, but you got to be an all-around GOAT to be the GOAT. You know what I mean?
And I actually thought he was on parole for the drinking and stuff. So I thought he was on parole. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he was, or maybe he had already served out his parole time and maybe he's starting on fresh. But I got to find out on that. But he was half naked when he took off out the car after he hit somebody. He's lucky he didn't kill the person. But hey, it's a crazy story. Let's get into, it's 8:05. I'm just going to blow through Trump troubles because I got my first Tuesday next week, and my legal guys are going to be on to break all this stuff down. So some of the things we're going to talk about this Israeli-Iran war that started. The U.S. did their strikes on Iran and claimed that they blew up their bunkers and said that they absolutely destroyed their nuclear so-called program. It's going to set them back for years and blah, blah, blah. And then guess what happens? Iraqi strikes back at the U.S. base in Qatar, completely misses. And then Saudi comes out and says, hey, we're condemning your attack, which now has everybody wondering, well, WWE is supposed to be in Saudi Arabia next week, and we're going to talk about that on Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor. We were wondering about that, but then Iran comes out and says, well, we're going to cut off the Strait of Hormuz, which is going to cut off oil and gas, and cut off 1/3 of the oil supply. And then while we're doing that, President Trump comes out and says, well, I've actually brokered a ceasefire deal between Israel and Iran. But Israel and Iran didn't come out at first and say that it was agreed upon. Then my son just sent me a thing and said that Israel did say that they did agree to a ceasefire, but Iran supposedly fired on them. Israel supposedly fired back at one of their radar bases. In other words, the ceasefire didn't even last 12 hours. And now the breaking news is that this bunker bomber attack that happened and spent all types of U.S. money, taxpayer dollars on, that they said that they completely obliterated their nuclear program. U.S. Pentagon, which is now run by Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, they come out and they said the intel says that the alleged nuclear stuff is too deep, and this attack has only set them back by 3 months. Womp, 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 womp. 3 months. So if Iran was really a threat, they're going to be back up and going in 3 months. And I'm going to be talking about this because everybody was going back and forth and debating this and all this stuff, and the outcome is that it's only set back their program. If it is legit, it's only set them back 3 months. We'll be definitely. So before we get out of here, because I know Mattie don't talk politics, and I'm respecting that. Matt, tell them where they can follow you and what you got going on, man. Mention those sponsors.
It could shout out to Senior Sebwer, cashews, deliciousness. Get them cashews. Follow me at MattieC23 on Instagram. I also do TikTok, Mattie Ice Running. So MATTIE Ice Running. And I put more like than just a quick thing. So you can see some of the stuff I say after train and run or stuff like that. And then Matt Cameron on my Facebook. So, and the political stuff now, I'm somewhat a little bit more interested in it now because this is the security of my country, and seeing what is going on is a little bit wild. But you know what? Like, I don't know. It's just I can't decide if I really trust in the Trump game of it or I trust in, you know, our. It's hard to explain, man. Like, I don't know if he's doing the right things or the bad things. So I'll let you guys talk about that next week.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. You know, I got my immigration attorney in Kent Easenoff, and I got retired JAG officer Robert Resnick. So when we're talking this stuff out, it's not just a bunch of Facebook guys throwing debates and opinions back and forth. These are legal guys who've been in the game for close to 20 years, both of them. And I tell everybody, hey, if you want to bring this up and talk about it, don't just come on my page and try to beat me up all the time. Come on here and talk with these guys. And to be honest, 99% of the time when I ask these people to come on here, I get this. Crickets. Crickets. So let's get into, it's 8:10. Let me get into this right here. These are the outro banners. There's Matty right there with his Sinister One hat on. All the guys, Peter Barrett, Kevin Jeffries in the chat. These are the peeps who got the beanies. These are the shows I produced. Drafting the Circuits, Wednesday night. Homeland Heroes Salute in Fubar Studios, Wednesday at 6. Tonight, 9:30, Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast. We've got You Are the Star Karaoke is going to be this Friday night at Brockton Beer Company, and I believe we are to be slated to be outdoors this Friday night. Open for lunch and dinner. Kids eat free Monday through Wednesday at Brockton Beer Company.
Where's the outdoors for that?
It's right between the two buildings, the Marion Tuxedo and Brockton Beer Company.
Oh, got you. Okay, got you.
Yep, and that's usually right there. Emerge Career. If you were formerly incarcerated and your cases are cleaned up, reach out to Emerge Career. They're helping convicts who have had all their cases cleared up to get their CDLs. Journey Church in Bardstown, Kentucky has a food pantry on Thursdays and Saturdays. Lionel Boogs Young Saturday program, Bishop Training Fitness, Stay Young Fitness. Head on down there. It's no cost. It's free. Get your mentorship.
Much respect.
Much respect.
Much respect.
Warrior Within Yoga Project. This is now the updated banner. Wednesdays, 6:30 till August. John Bradley Durancourt is running for mayor. He's got a fundraiser coming up on July 10th, 5:30 to 8:30 at Brockton Beer. If you want to head down there and support him. Run the Home Base. That is I think it's July 26th. 5K, 9K, run a walk, support Veterans Health. That's at Fenway Park. You're going to run around Fenway Park for that. I'm not sure if you're interested in that, Maddie, but that's coming up. Mini Mechanic Summer Program, 6 weeks, 9 to 17. Sign up now for Mini Mechanic. Also, DV Awareness Pro Am Race takes place August 7th at Supercharge Entertainment. Laverne Gordon was on this show. And then there's the new Free Warrior Yoga. This one here goes to August 6th and August 20th at the Abington Library. So knew I had the updated out now. And then August 23rd, Broken Chain Biker Church is going to be raffling off this motorcycle that you see here. It's $20 per ticket. Buy 5 tickets, you get a 6 ticket free. And then Black Business Month is taking off in August. They will be at Tambu Bistro on Saturday, August 10th. They will be at the Sunrise Steakhouse, which is right here on Center Street. Good food, August 17th. And then they will be, I think they've got a couple. They're going to be at Brockton Beer Company, and I forget what the other place is. Salo on North Montello. They just had a fire, but they'll be back open. That's on North Montello. That's on August 31st. And then Brockton Youth Family Fun Day. That takes place, let me go back here. That takes place August 31st, 12 to 4 at the That's Backpack Give Out Day. And then the Stephen Montero Golf Tournament, that takes place September 15th at the DW Field Course. Please reach out to Craig Pina if you want to be involved or help out with that event. And then we have the Brockton's Farmers Market every Friday until October 31st from 10 to 2 at City Hall Plaza. And then these are the politicians who are running for office. They send me their things to post. They don't pay or nothing. I just post them as being community member. Moses Rodriguez, he's running for mayor. Jamal Brathwaite is running for Ward 6. Jean Bradley Durancourt, he's running for mayor of Brockton. And then, again, thank you for everybody for tuning in the show. Maddie, thank you for coming on the show with me tonight and hanging out. We got Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast. And heading into this season coming up, again, Maddie, tell them how they can follow you and what race you got coming up.
Well, you can follow me at MattieC23 Instagram, MattieC Sports, which is a little bit of here and there Instagram. Matty Ice running with MATTIE running on TikTok. You can see some of my post-training run stuff. And just Matt Cameron and MattieC's Sports on Facebook as well. And my next race I'll be training for is kind of technically the New Hampshire half marathon in October, but you know me, Keith. I'm going to fill those in between then for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Just don't know what yet.
Well, I mean, if you want, get in on that one that I just talked about for the veterans. That's in July.
Yeah, the home base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for a good cause, and I know you're there to support veterans and things of that sort. So that might be a good one for you to sign up for and get in on, and then you can go from there. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the show. Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast that comes on at 9:30. We're gonna break down Raw. We're gonna break down SmackDown. We're gonna break down. They're gonna be in Saudi this weekend. It's gonna happen. This ceasefire, I believe, is underway. So it looks like the Saudi event will happen, King of the Ring. And SpongeBob, can you do me a favor? Take us home.
See you next Tuesday.
Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine, but your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, keep this shit on repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak ass hoes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.